Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program, or IJP, where I ask the question, Whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? I'm your host, Brian Thompson. 2 weeks ago, I embarked on what I'm calling my quest to de-stress. In order to seek some much-needed respite from the rigors of my investigation, I inquired with a company that offers spiritual retreats deep in the remote desert. I spoke with a woman who called herself an angel guide. After an intense and deeply personal Q&A session, she took a moment to conduct some sort of spiritual review of our conversation, then called me back with a personalized program of relaxation and healing.
So, what I'm going to do is just share with you the sessions and what they're going to, overall address. And then, as I mentioned, what happens in the sessions is going to be more specific once you get here and you work with the practitioners and you guys, have those conversations.
Okay.
This is a very special place for you wanting to step away, step out of what you've been doing and get a fresh environment. It's going to really be a wonderful place for that.
Why is that? Because it's desert?
It's just beautiful. The mountains are beautiful. The energy here feels really clean and clear. The people are in a really good space, overall. So the community, so it just has a really wonderful feeling here, as well as it's just beautiful. And it's very close to Mother Nature, that is always very healing.
I see. Well, I would love to get closer to Mother Nature.
Good. Well, all you have to do is walk out the door of where you're going to be staying. That's part of it. It's just very close to Mother Nature. After the orientation, you'll be doing a session called Emotional Clearing and Healing. And now this session, as I mentioned earlier, this is going to go and investigate, where it is that you're in your own way. Where maybe are you doing too much that, then you created this stress for yourself, whatever that is. So it's really going to kind of go under the hood and investigate where you're in your own way. That's the best way to put it.
I see.
And we all have stuff.
Well, what if I'm not in my own way, but everybody I'm encountering in my investigation is in my way?
Well, then it would be addressing what that situation really is. What is that? Is it that, is it, whatever. I don't even want to go into it because, I'm just speculating. What I mean by where you're in your own way, and I got to be really forthright with you because I don't want you to do anything that's not going to be comfortable for you.
Please.
This will investigate your own inner wounds. That's
inner
what
wounds.
I mean by, yeah. We all have them. I'm glad that, you ended up with a really cool family, but there's some wounds in there from having been abandoned.
Possibly.
So that's just, yeah.
I haven't really ever thought about it before. I just know that my birth parents abandoned me at some point, and I've just taken it as a given.
Right. But we do that, and that's how the world around us expects us to do it. It's just, all right, suck it up, son, that kind of a thing. But that baby in there has some wounding from that, why didn't you want me, And usually it's for the betterment of the baby. Always, usually. But
by the baby, do you mean me as a baby?
Yes.
I
you ended up with a good family.
Yes.
So, that's better than being raised unwanted by your birth family, right? So for you, there was a gift in there. But what I'm saying is, in these sessions, what we want to do is heal whatever is wounded. And we all have wounds. We all have walls around our heart. It's just a lifelong thing that we build up and build up and build up. So that's what the emotional clearing and healing is going to address, is the inner child, whatever's going on in there. And it's usually one or two big, huge things that are in our blind spots that we're not aware of, but we're operating from.
Well, if I was wounded as a child, I would love to know how to heal those wounds.
That's right.
Will I have to
And
be? I expressed concern about this earlier, but will I have to be in any state of unclothedness for any of these sessions?
No.
Okay,
No,
good.
no.
Okay, very good.
I mean, if only if you did a massage. But no, this is like the emotional clearing and healing is like a deep counseling session. Fully clothed, you're going to be fully present and participatory.
Okay,
You know,
that was my number one concern.
Good. Yeah. No.
I see. So after I heal my wounded baby, what's next?
Then we have the session called Letting Go Ritual. I love this session for you, but just feel it out. This session will it takes place outside on the land in nature, and it utilizes the natural elements to do a letting go. There's releasing anything here that needs to be, especially all that frustration. Each and every one of those drops of frustration, leave it here. Even the people that are giving you the runaround, right, and any anger and frustration there, leave it here. To really clear out your body and on all levels. So it's very cathartic, and it really clears it out emotionally, mentally, and physically.
So this would be leaving actual liquids from my body on the land?
No, this would be leaving toxic energies.
Oh, I see.
And we hold those energies in our bodies. Then we have a session called Inner Journey with Breath and Sound. And how it works is the practitioner is going to teach you some deep breathing techniques. That is an awesome tool to help reduce stress in your daily life. Really, most of us don't know how to breathe. We literally. So that's going to be a wonderful tool alone. But in the session,
can you explain how does someone not know how to breathe?
because breath can be used very intentionally.
I intentionally breathe to stay alive. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm breathing.
Okay, so that's like default breathing, that your body's doing it. This, you are intentionally breathing. You're breathing the oxygen, and it's really the oxygen, breathing it in, holding it for a minute, letting it go. And so this intentional breathing is a deep relaxation technique. And then in the sessions, you'll learn the deep breathing, and then you'll utilize that along with specially chosen music, and then you lay on a mat fully clothed, and you'll experience an inner journey, a deep meditation.
What kind of music?
Have you ever done it? It's a variety of music that has different tempos that is designed to ignite different energy centers in your body called the chakras.
If you had to place this music in a particular genre, what genre would you place it in?
It's a variety. It's a variety. It goes everywhere from drumming music, like kind of Native American drumming type or African drumming. It goes there. It has a kind of a pop music in there, and it has like kind of spiritual music towards the end. So the music actually is designed to kind of direct and guide you on this inner journey.
Will I be expected to dance?
No, but if you feel like dancing, go for it. But you'll be laying on a mat. So let me ask you, have you ever done anything like this? Have you ever taken psychedelic substances or done any trance dance work or anything like that?
I don't believe I've ever taken any psychedelic substances. There was one time I went to the circus with my adoptive father, and he ordered a little bit too much cotton candy, and I got fairly sick afterward, but I don't think I saw any sort of visions or hallucinations or anything like that.
Okay. I only ask that because, this journey does sometimes, there are visions and things like that, and there's no drugs involved. It's just the breathing and the music.
Visions of what exactly?
For everyone, it's unique. Let me just think of some that were really pretty interesting. Well, one guy found himself. This was interesting because he didn't really believe in religion at all, in any kind, and he ended up having tea with Jesus and Buddha.
That's extraordinary.
It is. It was. It is. It can be. This session can be extraordinary.
Do you recall what kind of tea it was? Green tea?
In his vision, no. He
Black
just said
tea?
he was drinking tea. For him, it was more so eye-opening that Jesus and Buddha were working together.
I'm just curious what kind of tea Jesus would prefer.
Well, if it happens for you, you can ask him.
I hope that it does.
But, yeah, another person had literally a white buffalo walk up,
A white buffalo?
Yeah, white buffalo.
I've never heard of such. I've heard of brown buffaloes, but not white.
White buffaloes are very sacred in the Native American belief system, and they do exist. There are albino buffaloes, and they're considered very sacred and holy.
Are they painted?
And no, they're born that way. They're albino. Have you ever heard that word, albino? Do you know what that is?
I do not.
It's when it happens to people and animals when they're born with no pigment. So they're like, purely white cat. You've seen white cats, right? Or heard of? So those are albino cats.
I see. So any white person is an albino?
Well, albino are people that have like no pigment in their hair. Their eyebrows are like white gray. Their hair is white gray, and they're born that way. And they have really, really light skin, like almost no pigment in their skin.
I see.
Really,
like
really light.
Actress and lifestyle guru Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, I don't know. She's not. No, albino are even lighter than that.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to do a Google image search.
So whatever happens is going to be for you. What you need. And then we're going to send you that music home.
Will this music be provided on vinyl or compact disc?
It's actually sent MP3 file.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Via email.
I see. Bit of a disappointment.
What's that?
I said that's just a bit of a disappointment because I'm an audiophile.
So what does that mean?
It means that I appreciate high-fidelity audio, so I would prefer to be sent home with vinyl, but if a compact disc would be more appropriate, I would accept that too. MP3 would be at the bottom of my list because of all the compression.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a field I just don't know anything about, but I know it won't be vinyl, but we may have the ability to have it on a compact disc for you.
Okay. We'll just play it by ear.
On the third day, we have a big session called Heart and Soul Transformation. Now, this session, we put it towards the end because it is going to, you've already had these other experiences, you know yourself more, you're self-aware, you've got tools and all that. This session is going to now establish a really nice foundation for you that's based in your truth, who you really are now. And what you believe in, what your values are. And also, we really also emphasize self-love.
I would very much enjoy soaking up as much love as possible from the world around me.
Awesome.
Do you think being able to better receive and send out love energy will help me in my investigation?
That's a really awesome question. And you are going to have to be the investigator in that. You will come and you will be more centered in love and in self-love, and you'll have to see how does that show up, as you're interacting with these people. A good example might be that in the past, if somebody, shut the door, in your face about something, that might have brought up huge frustration for you. Going forward, it might be like, okay, I got to go around this guy, without all that frustration. Because this is about you. This is about being in a healthier place. We don't just give you a bunch of stuff and say, okay, now good luck. We make it into a nice plan, and that's a co-creation between you and the practitioner.
Do you have any idea who this practitioner would be?
Well, we will know more when we know when you're coming and when you schedule it.
Do they have long beards?
Uh, not all of them. I'm trying to think. Who has a beard? We have a couple, but they're short beards, you know. But they have the wisdom of those kind of sages.
I see.
You know? So
it's just that when I think practitioner of spirituality, I think long beard.
Well, that's because that's that archetype of a sage, right? The wise man, right? The spiritual teacher. So we visualize that. So that's, you know, right. And everybody you work with is going to be a master, literally a master.
I
So
see.
just trust that.
So they would have a metaphorical long beard?
Yeah. Even if it's a woman. I'm excited that you found us.
Me too.
Okay. So then, if we did all of these sessions, the total is $2,394.
Dollars?
Yes.
With nothing more to say, I hung up. And thus ends my quest to de-stress. Even though I do not have nearly enough money to embark on this particular spiritual retreat, I feel as though I achieved the next best thing just by listening to this angel guide talk about it. They say the brain satisfaction centers receive just as much chemical stimulation when thinking about achieving a task as when actually achieving a task. I don't know if this is true regarding the mystery of McDonald's pizza. I believe my brain may not enjoy a squirt of pleasure chemicals until I actually discover what happened to it. But it's certainly true of spiritual retreats. I feel energized, refreshed, in control of my money, and yes, de-stressed. Today's episode of Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's is brought to you by Fiverr. $5 is a decent amount of money somewhere in the world, right? With Fiverr, you can ask people in those parts of the world to do things for you. No one in their right mind would do such a thing for $5, you think? Well, think again. Fiverr. See what people in other lands are willing to do. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com, to our Twitter page at pizza@mcd's, or through Facebook at facebook.com/pizza@mcd's. Subscribe to our IJP on Apple Podcasts, and if you like the show, consider leaving a review. To provide financial support, visit patreon.com/pizza@mcd's. I'm Brian Thompson.